Yeah, so far it's just you. Um, well, it's just you here. What have you had a chance to kind of look at that, sign in, log in, look at that stuff at all that I showed you last week?
I have not. It was
Okay.
a bit of a hectic weekend, and I didn't have a chance. But yeah, I'm gonna have to start making some more priorities. I know.
Okay. Gotcha.
Uh, because clearly, moving forward, what I've been doing hasn't worked. It's not working, so that means change is inevitable. I guess just put out the main important fires right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently, which I don't know if I told you or not, but uh, they say if you want to change your life, just do something, even if it is messy. Well, I definitely got the messy part down,
Yeah.
but I should be able to get on there this week and maybe hopefully this weekend do something. It's nice here to be on the computer much, and that's why I haven't been on. And then the wife is going to be the main person doing it, and she had a really busy weekend.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah. Yeah, it takes time and you have to put a focused effort into growing your business, and especially with any business, especially farming, they say that you need to spend half your time in the marketing side, and especially when it's new, it probably takes even more time because you're learning this for the first time, and then you're also trying to apply it. Um,
it looks like about 80%.
yeah,
It's
I mean, yeah, in the beginning, yeah, it's gonna be a lot, but the good thing is, we take a lot of that heavy lifting off your plate with all the email flows and marketing that we've already got set up. We set up the landing pages, the funnels, the Facebook ads. We even reach out to local businesses, do the partnerships. So we take a lot of that off your plate, but there's still a lot to be done for sure. Um,
right, and that is one reason why I, jumped on your program is because I knew what I had, and I knew the amount of time that it would take based on what y'all were presenting. It's to put it this way: when I am successful, it will be only because of this program, because I do not have the time to dedicate to all the learning that you have done into it.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, that's the goal, isn't it? We get you there and get you there in a short amount of time, so it doesn't take you years and effort and sacrifice. Um,
I feel like there's going to be a delay process here soon. I mean, I don't know funding because I am going to I want to go faster than I can go if that makes sense. Like I want to be on a bicycle that's rolling down a hill. That's where I want to be, but my finances is not at that point if that makes sense.
hmm
Like my finances are paddling up the hill.
hmm
So the delay I feel like is going to come with funding. I'm actively searching out funding opportunities. And I learned today that I'm going to have to get my wife on board because she is Native American and she's a woman. So that will allow me to appeal to a lot more of the funds.
Mm. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's
It,
at a state level, but I mean, she wants it. She's a school teacher, but we've never like I've tried for funds before, and it never worked out because I guess I'm a white male.
in RCS, is that what you're applying for?
Uh, I have been in there. I'm going back this week to work on that, but I'm even going to look at a loan. Uh, let's see. I had the site pulled up. It's through Kentucky,
Okay.
and I talked to the Ag Extension office on the way home, and he told me that if I apply with a woman, and essentially, I mean, she wants to farm. She's a school teacher, but she wants to farm. She loves it, so it's not a lie. And I'll be her hired hand, so to speak.
Hmm. Yeah.
What I told him is what's mine is hers, and what's hers is hers anyway. So don't make
Right.
no.
That's how it works anyway, right?
So,
That's funny. Yeah. I haven't had a whole lot of NRCS. I know some people have, but yeah, hopefully that gives you a leg up there. And if you need some funds to get them some things going, get some infrastructure, that's a smart idea to do that. I will say that, don't, you don't have to rely totally on, paid advertising to get your farm off the ground. That's kind of, it is one avenue, but there's a lot of things we can do without it. And that's part of what I was going to talk about tonight. Kind of how we do that, without having to do paid advertising. Um,
I mean, we talked about what on the paid advertising, $150 a month.
mhm.
That's not really a lot of money. I don't know what type of advertising that gets. I don't know nothing about it, but $150 on the grand scheme of things, netting $100K in a year off of pasture poultry. I mean, the investment on pasture poultry alone to get there is 335K roughly, 333K to add a 30% markup.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, and 150 bucks is
So,
kind of the bare minimum, what you'd want to, kind of the minimum, I guess, $5 a day, kind of the minimum to do some of that stuff. But you can always, there's people that do a lot more if they want to go faster and stuff. But like I usually don't really recommend that. I mean, you can put in more, but like you can get a lot with just $150 a month. We can do a lot with that. Um, so
and so okay, $150 a month, $1,600 roughly. That's nothing compared to what I'm looking to gain, I guess you would say, but maybe my scale is way off. Maybe it takes 10 times that amount to advertise to get that amount.
yeah, so
Like maybe it takes on field.
there's two things that advertising does for you. I'll explain to like this. One is it attracts new customers to you. You get new followers, new email addresses. That's the first thing it does. Get new eyeballs coming in, right? And that you can scale as big as you want. You can put as much money if you want to do that faster, quicker, better. The second thing you can do with paid advertising is you basically turn those people that are already interested in what you're doing, that have visited your website, visited your Facebook page, your Instagram, whatever, and then it shows them an ad, hey, we got chicken on sale, or hey, we're doing a giveaway, or hey, we got, some pups available, and turns those people that are already followers and kind of familiar with you to entice them to become a customer. So typically, what we do, usually or I recommend, is instead of using paid advertising to get new people, and we can use it in that manner and structure a campaign in that regard, is we use a bare minimum, just $5 a day, so it's just showing an ad to somebody who's already familiar with you and shows you, hey, this is what we got available right now, so that it turns them into a customer. And we use other strategies such as partnerships with local businesses to get those eyeballs, to get, uh, more followers, more email addresses, that sort of thing.
I
You can
got
use
you.
paid advertising for both, but it can be expensive. It'll speed up the process, but it can be expensive. So usually we just use it as kind of a yeah, just to promote what you have going on. And so that's what the goal. So what we do with the dogs, for example, is we have the landing page, we have the funnel, and we would put that, $5 or $10 a day behind it in advertising spend. And what would happen is people that are already following you, familiar with what you do, and others, new people as well, some new people as well, will see that. People that are interested in dog, hopefully click on it and give you a call or at least submit their email address, whatever, and be in touch with you about getting a dog. Um, so that's how that's the thought process there, the plan of attack.
I'm going to say that the advertising that I need is people that don't know me, that's never heard of me. How do you get them eyes?
Yeah, that's a little bit about what I was going to talk about today. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Let me share my screen. Looks like it's just gonna be me and you today, so that's all right.
I might
Um,
in 15 minutes or so.
yeah, let's see. All right, where's my screen here?
I do have a question. Maybe you can come
Sure,
back to later or something.
sure.
When did you know that I was a potential candidate for this program? How did you find me? How did you hook up? That kind of follows along with you're in South Carolina, I'm in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
How was I able to receive eyes on what you do?
Yeah. Um, that's what I'm talking about. And then I'll also show you kind of how we do it and how you can do it as well. You can kind of mimic it. Most likely you found me either through a partnership, somebody mentioned what we were doing and you expressed some interest, or you saw a paid advertisement and you signed up for something. One of those two ways. Um, so I'm going to talk about the free way to do it, or the low cost, the free way to do it first. That anybody can use really. Um, so let me share my screen. Alrighty. So one of the best ways to get new customers to your farm, to get new eyeballs, to get people to see what you're doing, um, and even to leverage people that are already familiar with what you're doing is through partnerships. And this is the best way to get new customers, new traffic, new leads, if you will, to your farm website or to your landing page. Because using paid advertising can be very expensive. It works, but it can be very costly to pay for advertising to get new customers just to see your farm page and give you their email address and sign up and start to become familiar and acquainted with what you do. So for a lot of people, especially when you're first starting out your farm, paid advertising isn't really an option. It can be expensive. So what we like to do is partnerships. And this is kind of the best way to promote your farm, working with local businesses. And I've talked about this a little bit more, but today I wanted to dive into a little more of the how to do this. The great thing about this, when you're partnering with other local businesses, other organizations where you live, is it's free or very minimal cost to you. You don't have to pay for advertising, and you have dramatic leverage. So leverage, what I mean by leverage is if you're doing paid advertising or you're reaching out to a customer on social media, for example, or you're talking to somebody at the gas station, you tell them you're a farmer and you've got chicken for sale, right? That's you talking to one person, one to one, right? It means you're asking one person to become a customer. And in the best case scenario, if you might have to talk to, maybe 50 or 100 people just to get one or two customers, right? So that's a lot of work to do to get one sale. One person actually becomes a sale if they say yes to you, right? And you have to do that one to one to one. It takes a lot of time. You don't have any leverage. But leveraging is when you can ask one person to become a partner and relay what you do on your farm, and you get 50 or 100 or 200 new emails, 200 potential new customers, right? You get 50 new email addresses, and out of those 50 new email addresses, you get 5 new customers. That's leverage. So instead of doing one to one, you're talking to one person trying to get a partnership, and then you're getting a lot of potential customers out of that for free or low cost. And this allows you to grow much faster. because you're using other people's networks, other people's audience. You're kind of borrowing the groundwork that they've already paved for you. And so what does this mean? So like, let's say I'll give you a life example. Let's say you've got somebody who uh, makes cooking ware, right? And they're selling cooking ware. And so they've got a bunch of people following them. They've built an audience on social media that is interested in their cooking ware. They probably maybe have an email list that is interested in their cooking ware, and they're a local, let's say they're a local business. You can reach out to them and say, hey, I think there's some synergy here. I grow, farm raised food locally. You grow cooking ware. Maybe we can work together. And so maybe they mention something about you, you mention something about them. You work together to grow your audiences much faster. And because these people are familiar, let's just call him Bill's cookware. They're familiar with Bill and they've been seeing his post on social media, and some of them have become customers for Bill, and they get some emails from him. When Bill says, hey, here's such and such farm, and they have pasture raised poultry or whatever it is you're offering, those customers trust Bill, and they're being more inclined to purchase from you, or at least sign up for, go to your landing page, sign up for your emails, and become a customer. So I'll tell you how I figured this out, or how I started doing it, I guess. I started reaching out to just individuals, social media influencers, local business owners in my area. Um, and I would just send them an email. I would send them a direct message on social media, and I would just say, hey, would you like to partner together? What are you doing? Or what's your business about? Tell me a little about what you do, and just start a conversation with them. I would ask, say, hey, can we partner together? And we would talk about the terms, what that partnership would look like. I try to find out what their goals are, what they're trying to do, see if we can find something that was beneficial for the both of us. Make sure I put their needs first. And there's lots of different ways you can partner together. Here's a document I'll put in here that's I've talked about in the past about partnering with influencers and local businesses, and doing giveaways and doing local business partnerships and gift cards and stuff like that. So I'll link that here. You can take a look at it. But a couple different ways you can partner is they can become an affiliate, which means anybody they refer to you, they get a percentage of the sale. You can do a newsletter or email swap. So they mention you in their email newsletter, you mention them in their email newsletter. And so you work together that way. They can mention you in a social media post. You can mention them in a social media post. You guys can do a giveaway. So you can set up a giveaway or give away some product, sign up here to potentially win our farm giveaway, and they can promote that for you. You can do a joint giveaway. So maybe you're giving away a few chickens, he's giving away a bunch of cookware, Tupperware and knives or whatever, and you bundle that together and do a joint giveaway. Is a great way to do it, because then they're more vested in it. So there's a lot of different ways you can do this type of partnership. And then we execute the partnerships. And so one of the results, I'll show you, this is kind of one of the first times I did this. I reached out to about 15 local farms in my area. It was around 12 or 15. I don't know the exact number. I think it was about 15 local farmers in my area. And I reached out to local farmers that were not direct competitors. So these were not people doing pastured poultry. I was doing pastured poultry, so I reached out to people that were doing grass-fed beef, or people that were doing microgreens, or growing mushrooms, or doing raw milk or honey. People in, also doing farm-raised products or vegetables, but they weren't a direct competitor, right? And so they're all trying to do like we were doing it. I just reached out to most of them I found at a couple of the farmers markets I was doing, and talked to them either in person or sent them a message on social media. And out of those 15, I had about 4 of them agreed to do a partnership with me. And a couple of them were more vested in it and did a little more work than the others, but 4 of them agreed to a partnership. And so what we did together was we came up with a giveaway. I gave away some of our pasture-raised poultry. They gave away some of their products. We had one company that was they're a smoking company, so they smoked like seasonings. They did smoked salt, smoked olive oil, these kinds of things. So they gave away some stuff. I had another guy did a lot of grains and like grits and stuff like that. So he gave away a couple bags of his stuff. We had a couple others. One was a hot sauce company. One was or did a bunch of hot sauces, local made hot sauces. Somebody else was doing microgreens. So we had a couple different farmers and artisans that we partnered together with. And it was a total of about $250 worth of stuff we're giving away for free between all of us. So I built the landing page. I put pictures and listed everybody's stuff and just built a landing page, said sign up if you want to enter to win this. We didn't pay for any advertising. We all just promoted it on social media for that week. We made like 3 posts each on social media. We all sent out to our email list, and we collected around 120 new emails, or I got 120 new emails and phone numbers from customers that were interested in the giveaway, trying to win the giveaway, and also got the 2 purchases. So I set it up where when these people entered the giveaway, it would also take them to a page where they could purchase. We had a special, they could purchase some of our poultry. And so I had 2 people purchase right away as well. So we got some revenue and 120 new customers. And then I also shared those emails and those phone numbers for the people that entered the giveaway with the other farmers that entered it. And so everyone benefited. And that was just one little thing, one little giveaway like that. And so it's amazing, the results you can have. Just contacted 15 people. I got 120 emails and a couple phone numbers. I mean, if you're paying for advertising, that could have cost you anywhere from $500 to $1,000. So it was very fruitful, and it didn't take a whole lot of effort. So, question: who do you partner with? How do you do this? What do you reach out to? These are just some examples that I've brainstormed that are great people to partner with, and some of these we've done with before. So if you're a farmer, you can partner with other small local businesses like small convenience stores or grocery stores in your area, particularly ones that sell like, good stuff, like good, like high-end, like quality farm products. As I mentioned, a lot of the companies I've had success with were other farmers that were not direct competitors with me. Other places you can reach out to people would be moms groups, stay-at-home mom groups on Facebook, homesteading organizations, any kind of foodie type groups on Facebook or even better, if you Facebook groups are fantastic because you can find people interested in a topic, and then you can reach out to the administrator of that Facebook group and say, hey, I'd love to, you know, tell folks about what I'm doing or promote a giveaway, or maybe we can do something together. And usually they're open to doing that. 4-H organizations, scouting organizations, restaurants, food trucks, breweries, it just goes on and on. Other local artisans, anybody that's doing e-commerce, so anybody in your local area that is local and sells online is the perfect candidate because they're also growing an email list. They're also trying to get sales through their online store. And so this is perfect for those types of people. Another person you can partner with would be any service-based business, especially if they're more high-end. So people that do landscaping, they have they have home landscaping for, nice neighborhoods. They service nice neighborhoods, or they do interior design. These are great businesses to service with because even though they don't have anything to do with food, their customers are your potential customer, right? These are customers that are willing to invest money into nice design or nice landscaping. They're probably willing to buy high quality food, even if it's more expensive than the grocery store. So these could be a great partner as well. Anybody in the wellness space, wellness clinics, chiropractors, doctors' offices, gyms, yoga, CrossFit gyms, your chamber of commerce, local business groups, tourism organizations. I mean, it just goes on and on. And you can just keep brainstorming. Any brick and mortar stores, art galleries, spas, hotels. I mean, there's so many people you can do this. You just got to figure out who's wanting to partner and what their goals are. For everybody, their goal may not be to just collect email addresses. Maybe they want more people coming to their brick and mortar location, to their gym. Well, then maybe you structure the partnership a little bit differently. Maybe you say, okay, I know you're trying to get more people to sign up for your gym. What if we did something where if folks sign up for your gym, they get, 20% off our store, products at our store. It's just another incentive you can offer them when you sign folks up. So it offers people an incentive to sign up for your yearly gym membership, and it helps us out because we get another customer, something like that. So there's different ways you can do it. So let's talk about how to do this, right? What is the steps you do? And I broke all the steps down here to make it a little easy for you. So the first thing you want to do is make a list of around 100 people that you think would be good partners. And we're going to call this your Dream 100. So these are your dream partners, your Dream 100 list. I've got a link here to a spreadsheet that you can copy and use. And so basically, this is just a Google sheet, and you can put all different kinds of categories. But for example, you can put a farm name. You want to enter their email address, their phone number, when you contacted them. After you contact them, you want to do some follow up once or twice or 3 times, and then note whether they agreed and whether you completed the partnership. And that's kind of what I have this spreadsheet set up for. So you can use other local businesses, farmers, Facebook groups. There's just so many influencers, local influencers, and other associations, and just fill out the sheet. And it won't take you long to get 100 people on this sheet. You can quickly get a lot more than that. And once you got at least 100, and the way you're going to find these people is searching. The easiest way is search Instagram or Facebook. You can search hashtags, right? So you can do hashtag your area. So if you live, I live in Charleston, so I'll do hashtag Charleston, South Carolina, and see what kind of businesses are posting with that hashtag. You can search Facebook groups, foodie groups, um, stay-at-home mom groups, homesteading groups, stuff like that. You can search different keywords, and this is going to give you a long list. Just searching hashtags, groups, keywords on Facebook, Instagram is going to give you a long list of potential partners. Once you've got your list, you're going to send them a personalized message, right? You're going to send them an email that shows that you did your research on them, make it thoughtful and personal, right? And just say, hey, I saw that you guys are a leading gym in the area. Love what you're doing and how you put wellness and health first for your customers. I'm a local farm. I also believe in health and wellness, and that's why we do what we do. This is a little bit about what we do. Would you like to work together to kind of partner together in some way to increase our reach, increase our followers, increase our email account, increase our sales, whatever it may be that your goal is, and see what they say. Another way to do it is I like to DM people. So a lot of times I'll just ask them a simple question, just trying to get a response, right? So I'll see something they posted. If I find a local business I want to partner with, let's say it's a bagel shop, right? An example could say they post a picture of their bagels, and you could comment on that post or send them a direct message and say, hey, I love this picture of your bagels. What's your most popular flavor? And just asking them a simple question just to get a response is just a great way just to start the conversation, right? You're not asking them for a partnership, because sometimes if you come in too strong, they're going to be turned off. They're going to think you're trying to sell them something. And that's important, is we're not selling anything. We want to work something out that's mutually beneficial. So I'll just say, what's your most popular flavor? And then they'll respond and say, oh, that's cool. And I'll just tell them, tell me a little about who your customers are, what you're doing, what your goals are, and tell them about what I do. And then, hopefully that develops into a partnership. If they don't respond when you send them a message, don't be surprised. Make sure you send follow-up. So you like to send at least 1 to 2, sometimes 3 more follow-up messages if it's a really good partner. If they don't respond to the first message, I'll wait a couple days, message again, wait a few more days, message a third time, wait maybe another 4 or 5 days or week, message the last time. And sometimes they might just ignore your message because it didn't go directly to their inbox, or they were busy, whatever it is. And sometimes they will respond on the second or third message. Sometimes they also get the impression that might be spam or it might be a robo message, and that's why they don't respond. So saying something like a joke is a great way to get a good response. So something I'll say is like, hey, I noticed you didn't respond to my last couple of messages. Is it because of my beard? And say something like that. And usually they'll say, haha, or whatever, and they'll respond. And because then they know it's not a robot messaging them, right? It's an actual person. And usually that'll listen that, and you can come across a little more genuine, and hopefully that they know you're not trying to just sell them something. when they do respond, tell them a little about who you are and what you do, and ask if they want to partner together. If they say yes, suggest a partnership. And you always want to lead your partnership as with what's in it for them, right? You always want to have them as the focus. Start with that. Never say, "Oh, I want to do this, and my farm does this, and this is what we do." Don't talk about yourself at all. You want to talk about them. So you want to say, what are your goals? Would you like more email addresses? Would you like more revenue? Would you like me to promote? Sometimes I'll ask, I want to talk about myself. Say, what are you doing right now? Do you have a special? Do you have a promotion going on? I'd love to promote it. Sometimes that'll be my opening message. And usually they say, yeah, sure. We're doing this promotion this week or this month. I'll say, cool, I'd love to promote it. Go ahead and promote it, and then ask them if they would be willing to do the same for you. And it's a lot easier for them to say yes if you've already helped promote them. They're probably going to promote you as well. And I'll just say, hey, together we can grow our reach, grow our email list, grow our sales much faster if we do it together than if we do it alone. And usually they'll agree. And then you can set up a landing page. You can set up a giveaway. You can set up the social media post and share it with them to make it super. You want to do whatever you can to make it super easy for them to say yes. So if you can already have the social media post designed, the landing page designed, so all they have to do is share it, and makes things real simple for them, for your partner. You want to execute the partnership, and then after the partnership's over, whenever it's done, follow up with them, deliver the results, whatever you promised them. Stay in contact with them, make sure that they're happy with it, and hopefully you guys can do it again in a month or two. So that's kind of how we do it, and it's a great way to get free customers. It doesn't really cost you anything. Sometimes you might have to give away some products, but it's free to low cost. And I know sometimes that can sound overwhelming, but it works. It works great. My team does this for you, so we do guarantee you 1,000 new potential customers. So these would be new potential customers, email addresses. So if you want us to do that for you, just send me an email, and we can get that going. But that is how we do partnerships. So what are your thoughts on that, Brian?
What's your cost on the 1,000 new?
Cost on what?
The 1,000 new customers, the partnership.
Well, it doesn't really cost anything if you're doing it yourself.
Correct. I'm asking, what does it cost for y'all to do that?
What does it cost me? It's
No, for me to contact you, what does it cost me for you to do that for me?
Yeah, well, it's not going to cost you anything else because you already paid me for the program. But yeah, I mean, there is some cost that goes into it. I mean, that's included what you signed up for, but there's some cost included because we do so I have a team that does this. So what we'll do is we'll set up a list of people to reach out to, right? We'll identify those people, those partners in your area. We'll make the list, essentially get the email addresses, the phone numbers, do all that hard work, and contact them. So we'll collect make the list, reach out to that list. The part that you're responsible for is you will respond and set up the partnership, right? Now we can build the funnel. We'll also build the funnel, the landing page, set that up for the partnership for you. All you have to do is interact with that person, because it's going to be my team, or even myself can't do it as well as you can, because it's your farm, your business. Your products, your local area, right? So we'll send that first initial message. We'll also send the follow-up messages. And once they respond, that response will show up in the marketing system we have on the app. And that will pop in there. And then you take it from there. Basically, they say, yeah, I'm interested. And you say, okay, cool. This is what I was thinking. What are you doing? And then you take it from there.
Idea. I didn't try to throw you off track there. I just was wanting to know how much that costs for a person to purchase that from you. I mean, I think of there are several here. To get to 100, it would be hard in Muhlenberg County, and I haven't been outside of Muhlenberg County much of my life. So I believe that outreach would be far beyond that. But hey, it's part of growing.
Yeah, and that's an important thing is you're you're probably going to be if you want to grow and get a farm that's making a significant amount of money, you got to go outside your county. You got to look at the bigger urban areas and cities outside of there and target those areas. You're just not going to have enough people in your local area.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
you can take like a chiropractor, and yeah, they can be overwhelmed. You can actually put two in the county, and they're still overwhelmed with patients.
Mhm.
But growing food, specialized food, it's not the same as a specialized service.
Mhm. Yeah, it's different. And it's a different customer. Um, and so really trying to target those people that value health, wellness, you know, higher quality food, people that have a little bit more disposable income available. Those are the people you really want to target. And so you do that by selecting those partners that have those kinds of customers already. So a lot of times it's going to be like, chiropractors, spas, some of those higher end service based businesses, stuff like that. And either the other farms, their local farms is a great one too. So those are kind of the people we would look at to partner with.
So, as far as partnering with people like that and their general customers, have you found that non-GMO food for the birds are okay, or are they looking for organic?
You know, I don't do organic or non-GMO personally on my farm. I've had a lot of people request. In fact, I got a phone call from a guy today asking if we had soy-free feed for our livestock. I said no. So you get those requests. You get people that, want soy-free, corn-free, grain-free, taste-free, whatever, organic, non-GMO, list goes on and on. And it's always changing, always evolving. I don't do it, mainly because it's just cost prohibitive. I don't have a readily available supply of affordable, organic or even non-GMO grain. It just costs me a lot more. And I feel like, is there a customer out there? Is there a market for it? Yeah, absolutely. Would we sell more if we did it? Absolutely. But our costs would also be far higher. So for
Okay.
me, I haven't done it. Usually when I tell folks, when they see what we do, there's pasture raised, it's outside, everything we're doing with our birds, usually that's good enough for them to know that it's much better than what they're buying at the grocery store.
Okay. Oh, let's take your customers a little bit further, just because it's. I want to dig deeper into it. Basically, could you not raise one batch per year that was based organic, freeze them, and hold them back for customers that wanted organic or soy free? See, the reason I asked is I have a grain mill within an hour of me. They'll do soy free, corn free, and it's non-GMO organic feed. The feed is $400 more a ton, which on 100 birds, that's $4 more a bird.
Hmm.
Not a significant amount, but it is quite a. I mean, it's there.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, you could. Here's the thing to think about, and here's probably the main reason I haven't done it is yes, it's a little bit more. And could we raise a small batch and sell them and have a customer for that? Yes, we could. And could we even sell them for a little bit more because it costs us a little more? Yes, we probably could. But then we've got to separate the organic from the non-organic. We got to know which one people want. It creates a lot more complexity on our end when we're trying to fulfill orders and stuff and different price points. The other thing is, what is your goal with organic feed? Are you trying to get certified organic? Yeah, that's the only way I would see that it would be viable, because if you're not certified organic, you can't put organic anywhere on the label or in the description. You can't use the O word at all. It's forbidden. You can't even say, and because I know people have said things like beyond organic or we're better than organic, kind of thing, because we're pasture raised. State Department shut that down. So you can't say organic at all,
So you
which
can't even
means
say fed with organic feed.
I'm not sure. That's kind of a gray area. Uh, you can't say that the products. I think you could maybe say that like in the description, or you could tell them that, right? But you cannot. You definitely cannot advertise it's organic food,
I got
and
you.
because to do that, number one, it's a huge hurdle. You have to pay all kinds of money to get that organic certification. You can't run organic livestock on an area that's had conventional livestock on it for at least 3 years. Then you have to give the government a percentage of your sales because you're organic. I mean, it's insane the hoops you have to jump through. I've looked into it and it's ridiculous. I was like, I'm never doing that. It's absurd the crap you got to do. Um,
So if you want to do it for your personal consumption, you just do it for yourself and omit the rest.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, it's and the other thing is, you got to think about there's a lot that the consumer doesn't realize, and even farmers unaware of. Like a lot of people go with the non-GMO for reasons that they don't want their feed to be contaminated with glyphosate, because there's been a lot of studies that Roundup glyphosate has been linked to cancer, and so that's why they go with the non-GMO crop, because the GMO crops are often sprayed with glyphosate. However, the funny thing is, even a non-GMO crop, in a lot of cases, they will terminate that crop before harvest using glyphosate. So even your non-GMO, a lot of times has a lot of glyphosate in it. Um, and a lot of the organics are similar. So that's just one thing, like, what's kind of the goal, and how do you get that message across to your customers? So it's just, just things to consider. Um,
I know this is going a little bit off topic of the whole entire conversation with your program tonight, and I'm not trying to go there, but I would like to talk to you in depth a little more on that. If we need to schedule that, that's fine, or if we can talk tonight, that's fine.
about what? Go ahead.
The glyphosate, because
Yeah.
my wife has hypothyroidism, Hashimoto's.
Yeah.
Okay, we just went and seen a wellness doctor. He's an hour and a half away. He says her condition could be glyphosate or a parasite. Well, if it's glyphosate, then I'm going to have to really control the food that is brought into the home based on that.
Mm.
If she does a detox on it, and you know, I we've basically lost, or we've lost two children, and my first child was born with a two vessel cord. That's what's got me on this rabbit hole, I guess you would say.
Gotcha.
Uh, and then she has hypothyroidism, and she stays fatigued. She has a long list of symptoms, so it's a very big concern for me. So if the food intake is the issue, I want to uncover it. Well, if organic, I think I heard you say that it's even sprayed with glyphosate to end the crop to get it to come to harvest.
Yeah, I know non-GMO is. I believe organic can be as well. Like you can't use um you can't use glyphosate. It's not organic certified. Um, but a lot of times with organic food production, there's a lot of um, not very good tracking. So sometimes those foods that say organic are not necessarily grown organic, or stuff like that.
Basically, a farmer could spray it,
They
not
could, yeah,
not
and
track it, and well, he's got a bumper crop this year.
yeah,
Basically, I get what you're saying.
yeah. But in general, it's probably going to be safer. So it's the best thing would be growing your own food. That's then um, that it's safe. Um, a lot of times, sometimes they can um, grow organic right next to a conventional farm, and then you got a lot of wind and spray and bees and insects and animals carrying glyphosate over to the organic farm, even though it wasn't supposed to be there. So stuff like that happens. It's not perfect, but I would say organic's definitely a lot safer than just conventional in general. Um, but yeah, I mean, you never know, and the best way to know what's on the food and how safe it is just growing it yourself.
I actually lost 6 beehives because of that, because the farm next to me did a big spray, and I lost 6 hives. They all died out within 2 weeks of the spray.
Wow. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, and around here
I
it's
mean, they
mosquito.
say not. Go ahead.
I'll say around here it's mosquito spraying that wipes out the beehives. They spray by helicopter at night because mosquitoes are so thick in the late summer and fall. And if you raise bees, you're supposed to be on the no spray list. They're supposed to not spray your area, and they're also sent out emails and warnings before they spray, so you can cover your hives if you need to. But my neighbor, she lost, even though she's on the no spray list and they weren't supposed to spray by her house, she lost a bunch of bees one time. So yeah, it happens.
Think logically on that. How can you put a no spray list on a 6 acre plot when them bees can travel a 2 mile radius?
Right. That's
It,
exactly.
it it's not probable. It's not even possible.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's not impossible. There's no way to get around it. Nothing's 100%, but you can at least dramatically reduce your exposure, to a great extent. If you're buying organic food and or growing it yourself, nothing's gonna be 100% safe, but it's gonna be a lot better than buying the conventional.
Right. And I didn't know that non-GMO was no glyphosate. I wasn't aware of that. I thought it was just another bandwagon until I've heard other people talk about it, that it's even deeper than one would think. Just the like corn, for instance, your system don't know how to process a GMO corn kernel versus a non. I mean, a non-GMO, it can process it because it's aligned with the body, and a GMO one is not. I don't know the truth in that, but that's what I've been reading.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't dove into that stuff a whole lot, but I know a lot of the appeal for both consumers and farmers alike, or the mentality is that if it's non-GMO, it's not getting sprayed with glyphosate, which the fallacy in that is it couldn't be further from the truth. They don't spray it with glyphosate while it's growing, but they often do at the end of its life to kill that crop and harvest it. So, and I think that for a lot of people, and not everybody, and there's also the fact that they don't like stuff that's been genetically modified, but I think a big draw why people like the whole non-GMO label is because they think it's safer, it's not sprayed with glyphosate, but that's couldn't be further from the truth. So yeah, stuff I didn't know until I started, looking in this stuff. But it's interesting.
Right.
Um, Very interesting.
So how long have you been doing this?
Farming?
Doing the coaching?
Um, I think I started doing it like 2.5 years ago. So still relatively new, but I haven't really, we didn't really, I would say I haven't seriously been doing it maybe since last June.
What made you do it?
Well, I just started finding out some things that were working for me and just thought it'd be great to share that with others. And I had like an online course and stuff in the beginning, and I was doing some stuff for folks. But what I found was when you give people an online course, like Passion Poetry Blueprint, for example, um, a lot of it is up to the individual to digest that information, to learn it, to understand it, and then apply it. And unfortunately, I found like most of them just weren't applying it. They either weren't. My goal was really just to help farmers, and I believe the more successful small farms we have, the better it is for our health and our food system and our environment and everything. And I really want to see a better world for my kids. Less conventional farms, less toxins, less sprays, and more regenerative farms. And I'd love to see a world that can exist. And it's my belief if I can show that you can be successful with a regenerative farm, you can be successful farming, you can find customers, and you can do this, and there you can make a decent living doing it, then more people are going to want to do it, right? And so that's why I